So the next topic what I'm going to discuss, the most valuable concept in total multi-threading. The most valuable concept in total multi-threading. Okay, the topic name synchronization. The most valuable concept synchronization. Synchronization. Okay, sir, I know multi-threading, but I'm not that much perfect with the synchronization. Very common word. So today morning one student came. Sir, yesterday you started multi-threading. We thought that multi-threading concept on Saturday, Sunday. Okay, like no boss, yesterday only I started. Sir, can I continue today onwards? Yesterday dependency is there, you may not write. Sir, I know basic idea, but have you completed synchronization concept or not? No, I didn't complete. That is the only concept I required, sir. Like today morning one student asked this doubt. Okay, so I know multi-threading, but I don't know synchronization concept well. Are you getting? So maybe a maximum chance. So this area is nothing, but everyone is a bit panic. I don't know the reason. So it's a purely nursery standard concept is the synchronization concept. Okay, believe me, almost 2.5 hours to 3 hours I will spend here, so that definitely after completing you people are going to get much clarity about this concept. Synchronized method, synchronized block, object level lock, class level lock, like whatever total cinema in synchronization. Now we are going to perform post-mortem, right, what there inside. So that part we are going to discuss. Okay, anyway, let me create some basic idea about synchronization concept. What is the need or what is the purpose of synchronization, right? So now first word you should aware, synchronized is the modifier. Applicable. Synchronized is the modifier applicable for methods. Can I declare a method as a synchronizer or not? Yes. Can I declare variable as a synchronizer or not? No. Synchronizer variable not there. Can I declare a class as a synchronizer or not? Yes, boss. Yes or no? Can I declare a class as a synchronizer or not? No. Synchronizer classes, synchronizer variables are not there. Synchronizer method is there. Synchronizer block is there. Synchronized is the modifier applicable only for methods and blocks, but not for classes and variables. Is it clear? First point is the clear. Now listen this one. So here, what is the advantage of synchronizer? What is the disadvantage of synchronizer? Just observe this one. Sir, assume today, okay, Sunday, assume. Anyway, today is the Saturday, assume tomorrow. Assume Sunday. I thought that I want to go for biryani. It's nothing but it's a very common item in Hyderabad. Very common. So usually in my house, especially weekly 7 days are there. In that minimum 4 days is nothing but biryani should be available. Some relative or some guest is coming, then automatically arrange biryani. Is a very common food item in my house is the biryani. Okay, so assume we took some biryani. Okay, this is I took some biryani on one Sunday afternoon lunch. I took the biryani. Assume that this one is nothing but biryani plate. Okay, biryani plate. Now here, do you know what these are things here? What are these things here? Do you know some pieces, right? Okay, even the pieces also there in the biryani plate. I thought, so I want to eat this biryani. Just I started eating. Legend. Okay, so just observe. Assume it is the biryani plate. Okay, just I took a small. Okay, I want to eat this biryani plate, right? I took this small portion, but I didn't feel that much comfortable. What I did is I throw this total biryani plate to the dustbin which is there on the roadside. Okay, assume I throw this total biryani plate to the dustbin. Whenever I'm throwing to the dustbin, okay, so there is one dog saw this biryani plate. Okay, there is one dog saw this biryani plate. Then by running, dog came and observed, oh, it's a biryani. Then dog felt very happy, because usually if you want to eat biryani at any time you can get, but a dog very rarely it will get. Are you getting that? Okay, this because they can't go to the hotel or they can't offer. Okay, this. So dog saw this biryani plate. then it felt very happy, very happy. Okay, this is then what it is thinking from which side I have to start to eat, like it is thinking. Okay, this is because huge biryani is there in the plate. Whenever this dog thinking, meanwhile another dog came. Meanwhile another dog came. Okay, like this is. Meanwhile another dog came. Okay. Now whenever this dog came, then what will happen next? You know what the next one is nothing but there is a big fighting will be there. Obviously the most believable animal is the dog. The most selfish animal is also dog. Okay, this is, suppose today if you throw a small biscuit, next after 1 week if you are going on the same road, then the dog can recognize you. Is nothing but the most believable person is the dog. The most selfish animal is also dog only. If any new dog came in our area, is nothing but, until it crosses the boundary, maybe dogs having the boundaries, this area is mine, this area mine, like until it crosses its border, then all the local dogs are going to fight like anything. Okay, this is usually it's the most selfish animal. Then whenever this dog saw this dog, then automatically there is a big fighting is going to happen. Okay, this is big fighting is going to happen. If a dog intention is, if other dog will go, happily this biryani I can eat, like two dogs are fighting. If a dog intention is, if the other one will go, happily I can eat this total biryani plate, like the dogs are going to feel. Okay, whenever these two members fighting, whenever these two dogs fighting, then automatically another dog came. Another dog came, okay, in the middle. Then automatically, every dog is going to fight with the remaining two. Even this type of fighting also I hope you people saw. So every dog is going to fight. This dog will fight with these two. This dog will fight with these two. This dog will fight with these two. Every dog intention is, if one dog will go, the remaining dogs, if one dog will go, the remaining dogs is nothing but like, if two dogs will go, then the remaining dog happily can eat biryani plate, right? Okay, this is, the remaining dogs should go, then one dog will be remaining, then that dog has to eat this biryani plate, right? Okay, like, whenever these dogs in very, very deep fighting, meanwhile, fourth dog came. Yeah, here fourth dog came. Fourth dog came. Then what this dog did, it starts eating from this place. Then what is the feeling of these three dogs, Hana? Array, fighting, there is no use, okay, because the other dog starts eating. That's why what these dogs did is nothing but, this dog pull this biryani plate from this side. This dog pull biryani plate from this side. This dog pull biryani plate from this side, like every dog trying to pull the biryani plate from that side. What will happen is nothing but that total biryani by default will be there on the earth and it will become useless. Correct or not? Okay, if multiple dogs operating simultaneously on the same biryani object, what will happen is nothing but, what will happen? This type of problem is nothing but biryani inconsistency problem. What is this problem, Anna? Biryani inconsistency problem by default will be there. Okay, in Telugu we have one wonderful proverb. Kukkala chimpina istare. Kukkala chimpina istare. So it's nothing but it is completely useless. Complete useless. It's nothing but so they say. So if multiple dogs trying to operate on the same biryani plate simultaneously, multiple dogs are trying to operate on the same biryani plate simultaneously, then what will happen is biryani inconsistency problem by default will come. Is it clear for all of that? Okay, this is, so how you can solve this problem? Let me simulate this problem with our technical words. Sir, biryani plate is nothing but one Java object. Are you getting this is Java object, right? Each dog is nothing but one thread. Each dog is nothing but one thread. One thread. If multiple threads trying to operate simultaneously on the same biryani plate, on same Java object, okay, this is, then we will get data inconsistency problems. Or one person trying to add something, another person trying to get abnormal result, another person trying to replace something. If multiple threads are operating simultaneously on the same Java object, then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problems. Correct or not? Data inconsistency problem by default will come into the picture, right? Okay, if multiple threads trying to operate simultaneously on the same Java object, then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. Okay, this is similar. If multiple dogs operating on same biryani plate, what will happen? You know, same thing is going to be happen even on Java object if multiple threads operate simultaneously, right? Is it clear for all of you? This type of problem is data inconsistency problem. Okay, this is. So now let me explain one technical scenario, right? Suppose assume online booking systems are there. Assume so railway reservation system or bus reservation system is there. Suppose seems to be there are 4 seats are available, like it is showing in the system 4 seats are available. Then one person sending a request to arrange is nothing for reserve 3 tickets. Another person simultaneously, another end user, send a request for 2 tickets. If both requests came simultaneously, if both are going to be processed simultaneously, then there is a problem or not. So if first this one got processed, then automatically this person is going to get no, tickets are not available, like is nothing, something like inconsistency problem will come into the picture. For this point of view, 4 tickets are there, definitely I can get. Okay, from this point of view, boss, 4 tickets are there, definitely I will get. But whenever both requests came is nothing but if both are going to trying to operate, then there may be a chance of inconsistency problem. Are you getting that? Okay, this here. Next, so this is one example what we have. Another example, very common example especially. Suppose we have joint accounts are there. Joint account is there. Is nothing but joint account means house and wife and husband. Is nothing but like joint account is there. Suppose assume wife trying to withdraw the money by using ATM card. Okay, assume husband trying to pay some bill via online. Is nothing but both requests are going to be processed related to same account object or not? Yes. Suppose here in the account 10,000 is there. Just assume in the account 10,000 rupees is there. 10,000 rupees is there. 10,000 rupees. Husband from online, okay? Husband from online, he send a request to withdraw or to pay 9,000 rupees to somewhere. Now wife from some customer is nothing but from shopping mall. She gave the card to transfer the money is nothing but to pay the bill almost around some 7,000 rupees. Are you getting? Account is the same, joint account same. If both the wife and husband both are operating simultaneously on the same account object, then there may be a chance of inconsistency problem or not. Okay, this is so how you can solve this type of inconsistency problem if multiple people operating simultaneously on the same Java object, on the same account object, on the same, okay, like if multiple people are operating simultaneously on the same Java object, then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. To overcome this problem, which thing must be required is nothing but synchronizer keyword must be required. Is it clear for all of you? So what is the need of synchronizer keyword? So to resolve data inconsistency problems, we should go for which keyword is nothing but what? Data synchronizer keyword, right? How you can, what is the basic idea, right? Just observe this one. Just have a look once. Here I am taking just legend this point well. Sir, I have one object is there. Of course, assume biryani object is there. On the biryani object, what dog can perform? Which operation dog can perform? Eat operation, right? Okay, dog can perform eat operation. What I will do, sir? I will keep on security person here. Okay, assume I will keep on security person. If a dog want to eat the biryani, then compulsory this person has to approach security guy. Boss, I want to eat biryani. No one is there. You are the only person. Happily you can eat. Like the security person gave the chance. Now first dog starts eating the biryani. Meanwhile, second dog came. Second dog asked security person, I want to eat biryani. Already one dog starts eating. Until completing first dog, can you please wait? until completing first doc. Can you please wait? Like the security person updated. Now the second doc in waiting state, right? Once the first doc completes, now second doc will get the chance. Once the second doc completes, third doc will get the chance. If the dogs are going to eat biryani plate one by one, is there any chance of data inconsistency problem? No, is nothing but if you want one by one nature, at a time only one nature, then we should go for what? Synchronized keyword, right? Is it clear for all of you, right? Now, if a method declared as synchronized, if a method or block declared as synchronized, at a time only one thread is allowed to execute this method on the given object. Are you getting? So here this is my Java object. This method is the M1 method, is the sync method, synchronized method. At a time, how many threads can execute the synchronized method on the given object? Only one. The threads are going to be operated one by one. Then what will happen is nothing but data inconsistency problem by default will be resolved. So what is the biggest advantage of synchronized keyword? Is nothing but to resolve data inconsistency problem. If you want one by one nature, then we should go for what? Synchronized keyword. Are you getting the basic idea, right? What is synchronized? When we should go for synchronized keyword, right? Okay, add the points well. You have clearly this point. Synchronized is the modifier. Synchronized is the modifier. Synchronizer is the modifier. Is the modifier applicable only for methods and blocks? Applicable only for methods and blocks. Applicable only for methods and blocks. Only for methods and blocks, but not for classes and variables. 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 Okay, first point. Next, second. If for multiple threads are trying to operate, if multiple threads are trying to operate simultaneously, on the same Java object, if multiple threads are trying to operate simultaneously on the same Java object, then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. Then there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. To overcome this problem, next para. To overcome this problem, we should go for which keyword? To overcome this problem, we should go for synchronized keyword. To overcome this problem, we should go for synchronized keyword. Next, if a method or block declared as synchronized, then at a time only one thread is allowed to execute. Only one thread is allowed to execute. That method or block. Only one thread is allowed to execute that method or block. Only one thread is allowed to execute that method or block on the given object. That method or block on the given object. So that data inconsistency problem So that data inconsistency problem will be resolved. So that data inconsistency problem will be resolved. Data inconsistency problem will be resolved. Are you able to understand that? Okay, this is. So can you spell out what is the advantage of synchronizer keyword? The biggest advantage of synchronizer keyword is we can overcome data inconsistency problem. But what is the main disadvantage of synchronizer keyword? In this approach, there is some problem is there. The threads are going to be executed one by one. If the threads are going to execute one by one, here suppose assume 1000 threads are there. Sir, it is a web application. Assume it is a web application. Thousands of requests are going to come. It is a web application, right? Sir, until completing first thread, second thread has to wait. Until completing first 2 threads, third thread has to wait. Until completing first 3 threads, fourth thread has to wait. It increases waiting time of the threads and creates performance problems, right? Correct or not? Okay, this is. That's why if there is no specific requirement, never recommended to go for synchronizer keyword. Worst keyword in Java is nothing but synchronizer only. Luckily, java.util concurrent package has a solution for the synchronizer keyword. But as of now, we are not going to discuss that part. First, consider synchronizer keyword as the hero. But after few is nothing but classes, synchronizer keyword will become 0. We can't use that terminology, right? Okay, that part I will discuss. But as of now, just observe synchronizer keyword is nothing but most important terminology. Right? So can you tell what is the advantage of synchronizer? We can overcome data inconsistency problem. But what is the disadvantage of synchronizer keyword? It increases waiting time of the threads and creates performance problems, right? Hence, if there is no specific requirement, never recommended to use a synchronizer keyword. Just for style purpose, just for fancy purpose, don't use synchronizer, which is harmful to our program. Is it clear at this point? The main next step. The main advantage of synchronizer keyword is 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 synchronizer keyword is the main advantage of synchronizer keyword is we can resolve data inconsistency problems. We can resolve data inconsistency problems. But the main disadvantage of synchronizer keyword is disadvantage of synchronizer keyword is but the main disadvantage of synchronizer keyword but the main disadvantage of synchronizer keyword is it increases waiting time of threads. It increases waiting time of threads. It increases waiting time of threads and creates performance problems. It increases waiting time of threads and creates performance problems. Hence, if there is no specific requirement, then it is not recommended. It's not recommended to use a synchronizer keyword. Not recommended to use a synchronizer keyword. Okay, that's all. Are you able to understand? Sir, basic idea. What is synchronizer? What is the advantage of synchronizer keyword? What is the disadvantage of synchronizer keyword? Now the terminology is very clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. Now the next one. Make sure. Sir, this is the basic introduction. What is a synchronized advantage and a disadvantage, right? Now the next point, take a bit special care. What is the internally how this concept is implemented? Internally, how the synchronizer keyword implemented? Sir, can you please explain with respect to a small program like you people may ask? Simple. Here just observe the terminology well. Here, best example, synchronizer keyword. Let me explain into the layman terminology, right? Assume in the morning somewhere we covered public telephone booth. Correct or not? In the morning we covered public telephone booth. Telephone booth is the best example for synchronizer keyword, public telephone booth. Now assume, okay, first person came. Here telephone booth owner is there, assume. And most of the times public telephone booth is nothing but available inside a cabin. To make a call, it's a cabin is available. Assume for this lock is also there. Okay, lock concept is there. Now observe, first person came. Sir, I want to make a call. Boss, currently no one is using. So this is the lock. Try to get and use. Is nothing but assume. So this is the lock. You can get and you can use like. First person got the lock and starts using. Assume starts using. Second person came. Boss, I want to make a call. Ray, please wait some time. Sometime because phone is already using by some other person. Please wait some time. Is nothing but because to use phone lock must be required. But currently that lock is available with this person. Until this person releases a lock, can you please wait? Is nothing but now second person should be in the waiting state. Once the first person completes its execution, now we releases a lock. So that lock is available. Now this owner is going to hand over that lock to the second person. Are you getting? Internally, so the same style synchronizer keyword is implemented. Assume every object in Java, sir, every object in Java has a unique lock. Every object in Java has a unique lock is there. Internally, synchronizer keyword is implemented by using this lock concept, right? Okay, internally synchronizer keyword is implemented by using which concept? Lock concept, right? Every object in Java has a unique lock. Internally the synchronizer keyword is implemented by using which concept? Lock concept, right? Now here just observe, if a thread wants to execute one synchronized method on the subject. Sir, if a thread wants to execute one synchronized method on the subject, immediately this thread required which lock? First lock of this object. Thread required lock of object. Once a thread got the lock, then it is allowed to execute synchronizer method. While first thread executing synchronizer method, second thread came. Boss, I want to execute. What the JVM will do was to execute synchronizer method, you required lock. Already lock is occupied by T1. Until T1 releases a lock, can you please wait? Like T2 will be in the waiting state. Once T1 completes, automatically T1 releases the lock. Now that lock by default available for what? T2. Now T2 starts execution, right? Okay. Internally synchronizer keyword is implemented. Synchronization concept is implemented by using which concept? Lock concept. So if we are not using synchronizer, then lock concept is not there. Lock concept is not required. Whenever we are using synchronizer keyword, then only lock concept will come into the picture. Is it clear for all of you, right? Okay. So internally how this concept is implemented by using what? Lock concept, right? First add. Internally synchronization is implemented. Synchronization concept is implemented. Is implemented by using lock. Internally synchronization concept is implemented by using lock. Synchronization concept is implemented by using lock. Every object in Java has a unique lock. Every object in Java has a unique lock. Next up, Every object in Java has a unique lock. Next, whenever we are using synchronized keyword, whenever we are using synchronized keyword, then only lock concept will come into the picture. Whenever we are using synchronized keyword, then only lock concept will come into the picture. Lock concept will come into the picture. Then only lock concept will come into the picture. Okay, that's all. So next, if a thread wants to execute a synchronizer method on any object, first it has to get lock of that object. Once a thread got locked, it is allowed to execute any synchronizer method on that object. Once a synchronizer method execution completes, automatically thread releases a lock. Are you getting that? Okay, this. But here one point you should aware: acquiring the lock is nothing but getting the lock. Under releasing the lock will be performed automatically internally by the JVM. So being a programmer, we are not required to do. So which code required to acquire the lock? Which code required to release the lock? No. If you are requesting synchronizer method, then automatically my thread is going to get in the lock. Once a synchronizer method execution completes, automatically lock will be released. So acquiring the lock, releasing the lock, automatically takes care by JVM. Being a programmer, we are not required to do anything. Okay, that point also you should be aware. If a thread wants to execute, synchronizer method, on the given object, first it has to get lock of that object. First it has to get lock of that object. Next up, once a thread got the lock, then it is allowed to execute. Any synchronizer method. On that object. Then it is allowed to execute any synchronizer method on that object. Any synchronizer method on that object. Any synchronizer method on that object. Next up, once method execution completes, automatically thread releases the lock. Once a method execution completes, automatically thread releases the lock. Are you getting? So acquiring lock, releasing lock, these things internally takes care by JVM, programmer not responsible. Okay, add acquiring and releasing lock, internally takes care by acquiring and releasing lock, internally takes care by JVM, and the programmer not responsible, for this activity. Programmer not responsible for this activity. Okay, this is now legend. This point well, very important terminology. Here make sure you should aware. What is the here most of the people having some wrong approach in your mind. Let me correct that. Okay, special. So I mean, think a bit carefully about this terminology, right? Sir, I have one class X. Analyze. I have one class X is there. This X class contain one sync method M1 is there. Sync means what? Synchronizer. Don't feel sync is a new keyword in Java. No, synchronizer method M1. Now another sync method is there M2. Another sync method is there M2. Next M3 normal method is there. So X class contain how many methods? 3 methods are there. Okay. First one M1, 2 sync methods are there, and the third one is nothing but normal method, right? Now my target is I created one X object. I created one X object. T1 came. Sir, T1 came. I want to execute M1 method on this object. Sir, T1 came. I want to execute M1 method on this object. Compulsory T1 has to require lock of this object. Okay. Currently no thread hold. That's why happily T1 will get the lock. T1 got the lock of X and starts execution of M1. Okay, this T1 has the lock and T1 starts execution of synchronizer method M1. Meanwhile, okay, legend this terminology well. Meanwhile, T2 came. Boss, I want to execute M1 method. Meanwhile, T2 came. I want to execute M1 method. Can you tell either T2 will get the chance or not? No, T2 won't get the chance because here already T1 executing. T2 won't get the chance. That's why. So T2 will enter into which state? Waiting state. T2 will enter into which state? Waiting state, right? Okay. Now T3 came. Sir, I want to execute M2 method. Sir, I want to execute M2 method. Can you tell T3 will get the chance immediately or not? Yes or no? T3 will get the chance immediately or not? Yes. How many people feeling T3 will get the chance immediately? Can you please raise your hands? Based on that I will start explanation. Or how many people feels T3 won't get the chance? T3 won't get the chance. Okay. Make sure you people should be aware. If you want to call synchronizer method M2 on this X, compulsory T3 required lock of this object. T3 required lock of this object. But lock of this object already occupied by T1. That's why T3 also should enter into waiting state. T3 also should enter into waiting. Now clear indication. While a thread executing synchronizer method on the given object, remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method simultaneously on that object. Remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method. Need not be same method, maybe different method also. Because if you want to execute M2 method, compulsory which thing must be required? Lock of object. Lock concept is defined based on object but not based on method. Observe, sir, I want lock of this object. Lock of this object already occupied by what? Thread T1. Until T1 releases a lock, compulsory T3 should be in the waiting state only. Are you able to understand? Do you know most of the people are going to fail? Sir, it is the different method. That's why it will get the chance like no. Even it is the different method, but this thread required lock of X, because lock concept is implemented based on object or based on method. Based on object. That's why even though it is a different method, but object is the same. So the lock of this object must be required. Lock of this object already occupied by T1 until T1 releases a lock. Compulsory T3 should be in waiting state, right? Is it clear for all of you, right? Now T4 came. Boss, I want to execute M3 method. M3 is the normal method or synchronizer method? Normal method, right? M3, Sir, I want to execute M3 method. Can you tell T3 will get the chance immediately or not? Yes or no? T3 will get the chance immediately or not? Okay? Make sure if T3, T4, I mean if T4 came, sir, I want to execute M3 method. JVM will give left hand. Arey, why you are asking me? Is it a synchronizer? No, then you can execute directly. If it is synchronizer, then my controlling must be required. But is it a synchronizer method? No, directly you can get the chance. So this person will get directly the opportunity, right? Are you able to understand? Now make sure you people should have clear clarity. While a thread executing synchronizer method on the given object, the remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method simultaneously. Is it clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is, make sure you people should aware, right? Okay, this is. Okay, just observe here. Class X contain M1 method, M2 method, M3 method. Total how many methods are there? 3 methods. 2 sync methods are there and 1 normal method is there. First thread got the lock. First thread got the lock of X and starts execution of M1. First thread got the lock of X and starts execution of M1. So while thread T1 starts execution of M1, T2 came. Sir, I want to execute M1 method. So it won't get the chance because to execute M1 compulsory T2 must require lock of X. Lock of X already occupied by T1. Until T1 releases a lock, T2 should be in the waiting state. T3 came. Sir, I want to execute M2 method. M2 method is a sync method, synchronizer method only. That's why T2 to execute M2 method compulsory lock must be required. But lock is already occupied by T1. Until T1 releases the lock, compulsory this person should be in waiting state, right? Okay, this is. So while a thread executing synchronizer method on any object, the remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method on that object simultaneously. Okay, this is. Next T4 came. Sir, I want to execute M3 method. M3 is the synchronizer or non-synchronizer? Non-synchronizer. That's why immediately T4 will get a chance to execute, no problem at all. Are you getting that? While a thread executing synchronizer method on the given object, the remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method on that object simultaneously. But the remaining threads are allowed to execute any non-synchronizer method simultaneously, right? Is it clear for all of you? Okay, add. While a thread executing synchronizer method, while a thread executing synchronizer method on the given object, while a thread executing synchronizer method on the given object, the remaining threads are not allowed to execute. The remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method simultaneously. The remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method simultaneously. Any synchronizer method simultaneously on the same object. The remaining threads are not allowed to execute any synchronizer method simultaneously on the same object. But remaining threads are allowed to execute. Execute non-synchronizer methods. But the remaining threads are allowed to execute non-synchronizer methods simultaneously. Is it clear for all of you? Okay, this is. So make sure, better to take this example. Class X sync M1, class X sync M1, sync M2, sync M3, sync M1, M2, M3. Next, on this object T1 came to execute M1 method. T1 starts execution of M1. If T2 came to execute same M1, waiting state. T3 came to execute M2 method. T3 came to execute M2 method, waiting state. T4 came to execute M3 method. So T4 came to execute M4 method, M3 method. T4 came to execute M3, valid. It will get the chance immediately, right? Can I complete it, right? Okay. So lock concept is implemented based on object but not based on method. That's why even though different method, it won't get the chance because this person required lock of this object, right? Okay, at the point. Lock concept is implemented. Lock concept is implemented. Lock concept is implemented. Lock concept is implemented based on object. Lock concept is implemented based on object. Based on object, but not based on method. But not based on method. But not based on method. Lock concept is implemented based on object but not based on method. Okay. One thing here, some people may ask the doubt. Okay, may have this doubt in their mind. So T1 got the lock. Starts execution of M1 method. Now T2 and T3 should be in the waiting state because they require the lock. But T4, how it will get the chance? So immediately, because this object already locked by T1. Are you getting right? This object already locked by T1. Then how this person T4 will get the chance to execute live? Some people may have this type of doubt. Simple point. For every object, there are two areas are there. And for every object, if I consider this is my object. Okay. So in this area is nothing but synchronized area where update operations performing. Sir, can you please modify? Can you please update? Can you please delete? Like the state of object will be changed. Such type of area is nothing but what? Synchronized area. Just read operations where we are performing. Any number of people can read simultaneously, no problem. This area is non-synchronized area. This area is nothing but what? Non-synchronized area. Now the point here is synchronized area can be accessed by this area can be accessed by only one thread at a time. Only one thread at a time. Are you getting? Synchronized area can be accessed by only one thread at a time. But a non-synchronized area can be accessed by this area can be accessed by any number of threads. Any number of threads simultaneously. Can be accessed by any number of threads simultaneously. Are you able to understand? Sir, this area can be accessed by only one thread. This area can be accessed by any number of threads. Then immediately some people may have the doubt. Sir, if this area can be accessed by multiple threads, in this area, if I am performing some update operation, then there may be a problem, right? Because a particular area can be accessed by multiple threads, then there may be a chance of problem, right? So if you are performing update operation in non-synchronized area, then it is the worst kind of programming practice. You are not writing the code properly. Okay, this is now observe. Suppose this is my class X. Okay, wherever update operation we are performing. Update, delete, remove, where state of object changing. Okay, this is wherever we are performing update operation. Okay, wherever we are performing update operation, like add something, remove something, or delete something, or replace something. Are you getting? Replace something, like wherever update operation, where the state of object is changing, where state of object changing, this type of operation should be performed at a time by only one thread. That's why this area we have to take inside which area na? Synchronized area, right? Are you getting? Sir, within a class I have 10 methods are there. 5 method performing update operation, performing delete operation, right? This type of thing compulsory we have to declare inside synchronized area. Is nothing but synchronized method. 5 methods are synchronized. Just I am performing read operation. Read operation, object state won't be changed. Correct or not? Read operation where object state won't be changed. That operation can be performed by multiple threads simultaneously. That area we have to declare by using what? Non-synchronized. Okay, this is. So here non-synchronized methods. Non-synchronized methods is wherever object state won't be changed, like which operation? Read operation, right? Like a read operation, that particular area we have to take inside non-synchronized area. Are you able to understand? When we should, which method we have to declare as synchronized, which method we have to declare as non-synchronized, is nothing but you should aware. Okay, this is make sure. Sir, suppose reservation system, check availability. Are you getting? Check availability. So check availability is a read operation. I'm not going to perform any update operation. Check availability, is it synchronized or non-synchronized? Non-synchronized. Check availability, non-synchronized. Suppose reserve seat. Are you getting? Confirm seat, reserve seat, is it synchronized or non-synchronized? Synchronized. Are you getting the difference, right? At a time this operation should be performed by only one person, because update operation, because my state of object is changing. Okay, this is such type of thing should be declared inside synchronizer method or synchronizer block. So read operation, check available, how many tickets are available, boss? So can you please tomorrow at evening 7 o'clock train ticket is available or not? Just a read operation. I'm not going to book. Read operation is nothing but then non-synchronized area. That's why every object in Java having how many areas? 2 areas, synchronized area, non-synchronized area. Synchronized area can be, this area can be accessed by only one thread at a time, because here update operation performing, my state of object is changing. But non-synchronized area, just read operation, this area can be accessed by any number of threads simultaneously or multiple threads simultaneously. Clear for all of you, right? You people should have clear clarity. Okay, take this diagram first. Take this one. Better to take. This is object, Java object, like object. So comment clearly. Synchronized area, non-synchronized area. Both options are there. Synchronized area, non-synchronized area. Next up, this area can be accessed by any number of threads simultaneously. This area can be accessed by any number of threads simultaneously. Any number of threads simultaneously. This area can be accessed by any number of threads simultaneously. Any number of threads simultaneously. But what about this one? This area can be accessed by only one thread at a time. This area can be accessed by only one thread at a time. at a time. Completed, right? Okay. Next, here at class X, synchronized area. Synchronized area, like wherever we are performing which operation? Update operation. Wherever we are performing update operation, update operation, within bracket add, remove, delete, replace, like add, remove, delete, replace, add, remove, delete, replace. That is where state of object changing. That is where state of object changing. Where state of object changing. So this area should be inside what? Synchronized area. Next, non-synchronized. Wherever object state won't be changed. Wherever object state won't be changed. Wherever object state won't be changed. Like read operation. Like read operation. Wherever object state won't be changed, like read operation. Like read operation. Okay, like completed, right? So make sure these are various things what you people should aware. But still, let me add one more point, right? Okay, here see. Sir, just observe. Okay, this is just to get the basic idea. So class, okay, reservation system. Assume just basic idea purpose. That's all. Don't class reservation system. In that, so check availability. Check availability is nothing but like, okay, it is going to do check availability. First method. Second method, book ticket. And then is it a meaningful name? Can you please book ticket? Book ticket is nothing but like one. Okay, like this is our confirm ticket. Book ticket, like. Now there are two operations we are performing in our reservation system. Check availability of seats. If or check availability of tickets. If the ticket is available, can you please book ticket? Is not. Among these, which is synchronized, which is non-synchronized? Yeah, check availability, only read operation. That's why is it synchronized or non-synchronized? Non-synchronized. This method not required to declare as a synchronized. None. Just which operation we are performing? Read operation, right? That's why it is not synchronized. Need not be synchronized. But book ticket, am I performing update operation or not? Yes. This update operation should be performed by only one person at a time. That's why compulsory this method should be synchronized. Correct or not? Okay, make sure when we should go for synchronized, when we should go for non-synchronized, you should have clear clarity. Okay, take this example. Class reservation system, check availability of tickets. Just a read operation, non-synchronized. But book ticket is nothing but update operation we are performing. That's why synchronized. Update operation we are performing. That's why synchronized. Completed, right? Non-synchronized. Second one, synchronized. Make sure you should have clear clarity. Non-synchronized area. First one, second one, synchronized area. Any explanation is required about this terminology? So let me go for simple example. with a synchronizer, without synchronizer, what is the difference? Let me go for a simple example or a big example. Completed, right? Okay. Now see these are points well. Okay, so let me go for synchronization, a big example with a synchronizer, without synchronizer. If multiple threads are trying to operate same method simultaneously on the same Java object, with a synchronizer, without synchronizer, you have to see the difference. Not that much easy example, take special care. Okay, here see big example, this is, observe that. Now see, here I am taking class display, and I am taking class display class. This display class contain one method, public void wish method. Wish, sir, I want to wish some person, wish method. To whom you want to wish? String name, public void wish method, string name. How this method I implemented is, here for int I is equal to 0, int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. How many times this loop is going to execute? 10 times. Here system.out.print method, not println, observe print. Here good morning, like I am taking good morning, like good morning, some here I am passing some name, good morning Durga, like first it is printing good morning, and then this thread want to sleep for some time. Try thread dot sleep of 2000 milliseconds. Anyway, catch interrupted exception E. Okay, try catch. Now after good morning, sleeping for some time, after that wake up, now he is going to print system.out.println to whom you want to wish. Okay, name, whatever the name here we are passing, that name I am keeping. End of the for loop, end of the wish method, end of the class. Regarding a simple wish method is nothing but like how many times for loop is going to execute? 10 times. Okay, now observe, here I am taking display D is equal to new display. Sir, I am creating display object. Okay, because this method is the static method or instance method. How you can call instance method? You know, display D is equal to object must be required D dot display. Now I am passing Dhoni the argument. Dhoni the argument like wish method, D dot wish method. Okay, by passing Dhoni the argument. Can you tell what is the output by default we are going to get? D dot wish. Now for what is the output we are going to get? Can you spell out? Good morning. Observe the behavior, good morning, and then sleeping. After sleep, this person immediately going to print name. What is the name? Dhoni. After printing, immediately this for loop is going to be continued next. So once again what? Good morning. Okay, once again Dhoni, next good morning, once again Dhoni, next good morning, sleeping, once again Dhoni, next good morning. Like how many times this cycle will be repeated? 10 times, right? Okay, this is the behavior of wish method. Is it clear for all of that? Okay, this is first one. Now observe, sir, I don't want to call manually. I don't want to call manually. My thread is responsible to call wish method. Okay, this is now what will happen, just observe. So let me go for second case. Second, sir, class my thread extends thread class. Sir, class my thread extends thread class. Now which method here, just observe, class my thread extends a thread. I want to call which method. To call which method, compulsory which thing must be required? Some name must be required and the display object must be required. That's why let me take display D, one instance variable, and string name, another instance variable. Display D, okay, that's all. Display D, comma, string name, like I'm taking. Now my thread constructor also I want to keep. My thread of display comma D comma string name. My thread of display D comma string name. Can I spell out what is the code? This dot D is equal to D. This dot name is equal to name. That's all. Constructor is also ready. Now whenever we are extending thread class, whenever we are defining thread class, compulsory which method we should override? Run method, public void run method. What is the job of the thread? Job of the thread is on the display object call the which method by passing name as the argument, because already display object and name already assigned. That's why what is the job on the display object call which method by passing name as the argument, like. Okay, now observe, this is the job of the thread. Okay, if we start this thread, what that thread is going to do on the display object, it is calling which method by passing name as the argument. Is it clear for all of you, right? Okay, second class, right? Now third one, very important part, observe. Sir, here now the job is class synchronized demo. Class synchronized demo. Now public static void main method string array args. Class synchronized demo public static void main string array args. Now the job here is I want to create this thread object and I want to start. But to create this thread object, compulsory what thing it is expecting? Display object is expecting, name is expecting as constructor argument. Let me create display object. Display D is equal to new display. Display D is equal to new display. Now so my thread T1 is equal to new my thread. Now my thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D comma my thread T is equal to new my thread of D comma Dhoni as the argument. My thread T1 is equal to new my thread of D comma Dhoni. Now here I am calling T1 dot start method, right? Okay, now observe the flow here. Sir, my thread T1 is equal to my thread of D comma Dhoni. Now D object is there. Okay, D object is there. Now first thread, what is the job of the first thread? On this D, sir, this D and Dhoni coming as the constructor arguments. Now D will become that display object. Name will become Dhoni, is nothing but that passed thing. Now first thread trying to call which method by passing which one as the argument? Dhoni as the argument. Are you getting Dhoni? So first thread calling which method on this display object by passing Dhoni as the argument, because this is the job I defined. Now how this method is going to execute? Good morning and then sleeping and then Dhoni. Once again good morning, sleeping Dhoni, good morning, sleeping Dhoni, like the output we are going to get. Are you getting? In our scenario, how many threads are there? Forget about main thread. How many threads are there? Only one thread. What is that thread? Okay, my thread T1, right? Only one thread, one display object. Synchronization is required or not required? Not required, because one dog, one biryani plate. Either synchronization concept is required or not required? Not required. If multiple dogs, one biryani plate. Synchronization is required or not required? Required. Observe. Now up to this, let me execute, right? Okay, so that you will get some idea. Here 1 minute. Mostly this example is there, or with slight changes may require. Synchronized demo.java. Here say this one, class display, public void wish method. All these things are not required for me as of now. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, good morning, and then try catch interrupted exception, name, end of the okay, for loop, end of the for loop, next end of the run method, end of the wish method, and then end of the class. Next up, class my thread, extends a thread, display d string name, constructor, and what is the job? What is the job on d dot wish method by passing name? Here I don't want to take these many threads and these many things. I don't know. My thread d is equal to display d is equal to new display. My thread t1 is equal to new my thread d comma okay, this thing must not, that's all, t1 dot start. Correct or not? Same example. How many display objects are there? One display. How many threads are there? Only one thread. Forget about main, only one thread t1 is there. Now let me execute this one. Java C synchronized demo.java. The code compiles fine. Java synchronized demo like, sir good morning, sleeping, Dhoni good morning, sleeping, Dhoni good morning, sleeping, like. So in this scenario, can you tell synchronization keyword, synchronizer keyword required or not required? Not required. Up to this is the clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. But now here see, let complete 10 times, that's all, stop now. Now what I will do, sir, I don't want only one thread, I don't want only one thread, I want two threads. Now can you tell what code extra we have to write? My thread t2 is equal to, my thread t2 is equal to new my thread of, my thread t2 is equal to new my thread of d comma, same display object is the same, d comma, okay, Yuvaraj as the argument, Yuvaraj as the argument. Now t1 dot start and t2 dot start, t1 dot start, t2 dot start. Can you tell, observe very carefully, t1 dot start, now wish method bypassing Dhoni as the argument. Simultaneously t2 also started. Can you tell what t2 is doing? T2 calling wish method bypassing Yuvaraj as the argument, okay. Both the threads calling wish method simultaneously. Either wish method is the synchronizer method or non-synchronizer method? Non-synchronizer. Now how the flow is, just observe. T1 came, assume T1 got the chance. T1 came, T1 trying to print good morning. Observe, T1 trying to print good morning, and then this person what he is doing? Sleeping. Whenever first person is in sleeping, second thread will get the chance or not? Yes, second thread good morning, and then sleeping. Meanwhile first thread is going to wake up. What the first thread is going to do? Print a name. What is the name? Dhoni, and then good morning, 1 second. Now second thread is going to wake up. Now Dhoni good morning, like. Sir, is it regular output or irregular output? Irregular output, because both the threads executing wish method simultaneously. Correct or not? Both the threads executing wish method simultaneously. That's why irregular output by default we are going to get. Okay, this is. Sir, can you tell in this example how many threads are there? 2 threads. How many display objects are there? Only one display object. Only one display object for both the threads, right? Now let me execute this one. Sir, my thread t2 is equal to new my thread of d comma Yuvaraj. D comma Yuvaraj as the argument, t1 dot start, t2 dot start. T1 dot start T2, T2 dot start like. Okay. Now observe this one. The code compiles fine. What the answer by default we are going to get? Good morning, Dhoni, good morning, Yuvraj, good morning, Yuvraj, good morning, Dhoni. Like, is it a mixed output, right? Something like irregular output we are going to get. Correct or not? Something like irregular. Because in this case, how many threads are there? 2 threads. 2 threads means this irregularity. Assume 4 threads are there. Assume 4 threads are there. T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. So T3 D comma Kohli. T4 is nothing but Raina, is nothing but like. Now T1 dot start, T2 dot start, T3 dot start, T3 dot start, T4 dot start. Like we have. Now have you observed here how much irregularity? All 4 threads trying to operate simultaneously on the same Java object. What will happen? Here just observe. Too much irregularity you can able to see. Okay. What is the output by default we are going to get? Here, good morning, Yuvraj, Kohli, Dhoni, Raina, Kohli like is nothing but more irregularity you can able to see. Are you getting? Okay, at last 2 words, last lines are nothing but you can consider. Okay, last lines. Good morning, Dhoni, Kohli. Good morning, Yuvraj, Dhoni, Raina, Kohli. Is nothing but like. Is it the regular output or irregular output? Irregular output. What is the problem? Why this irregularity came? Or why this problem came? At a time, multiple threads are allowed to execute wish method simultaneously. That's why the problem is coming. Sir, my wish method should be executed by only 1 thread at a time. Are you getting? Only 1 thread at a time. On the given display object, only 1 thread is allowed to execute. Remaining threads are not allowed to execute. So simultaneously, not possible. At a time, only 1 thread. After completing first thread, second thread. After completing second thread, third thread. If you want this type of nature, what we have to do? Declare that wish method as synchronized. Correct or not? Now let me take wish method synchronized, right? Now observe wish method is synchronized, right? Now take a bit special care. Sir, first thread T1 came. First thread T1 came. Now the first thread trying to call which method? Wish method. First thread print good morning. Legend the behavior. First thread assume Dhoni and Yuvraj. Who is going to get in the chance first? T1 dot start, T2 dot start. Who is going to get in the chance first? Dhoni or Yuvraj? No guarantee. If my JVM is the fan of Yuvraj, then Yuvraj may get the chance. Is there any guarantee in which other threads will execute? No. That's why Dhoni or Yuvraj, I don't know. But one person will get the chance. Assume T1 dot start we took first. That's why assume Dhoni only got the chance. Now Dhoni thread got the chance. Okay, this is observed. Dhoni got the chance. Good morning. Dhoni printed good morning. And then what the Dhoni is doing? Sleeping. Meanwhile, Yuvraj came. Oh, JVM, I want to execute wish method on this object. Immediately what the JVM will do? Oh, it is the synchronizer method. At a time only 1 thread. Let Dhoni complete. Let first Dhoni complete and then you will get the chance. Like JVM trying to convey to the Yuvraj. Now Yuvraj is going to tell, Arey, Dhoni is in sleeping, man. Is nothing but like Dhoni is in sleeping. Give the chance to me. Now JVM is going to tell whether Dhoni sleeping or dancing. Not important for me. Not important for me. Let Dhoni thread complete. After completing Dhoni thread only, I can give the chance to you. Like JVM is very strict. Then what Yuvraj has to do is nothing but he has to wait. That's all. Good morning. And after 2 seconds, this person is going to wake up Dhoni. And then good morning. And then sleeping Dhoni. And then good morning. And then sleeping Dhoni. Like so. Meanwhile, what Yuvraj is going to do? What Yuvraj is going to do? Waiting, right? Okay, Yuvraj is going to wait. Okay, this is. So then, once Dhoni thread complete, then only Yuvraj will get the chance. Correct or not? Now, can I get regular output or irregular output? Regular or irregular? Regular output, right? Observe the difference. Now, just come back. Here, see. Now these many threads I don't want, just only Dhoni and Yuvraj at the beginning. Let me explain. So my thread T1 is equal to my thread, okay, D comma Dhoni, D comma Yuvraj, like only 2. Vishmeter is the synchronizer or non-synchronizer? Why here non-synchronizer? Non-synchronizer means regular or irregular? Irregular output. Irregular output. Observe, good morning, irregular output only I got. Irregular, good morning, Dhoni, Yuvraj, like we are getting. Now what I want to do, let me declare which method as synchronized. If I declare which method as synchronized, then at a time, how many threads are allowed to execute this method? Only one thread. At a time, only one thread is allowed to execute this method. Now, take a bit special care. Now, regular output by default we are going to get. Good morning, Yuvraj. Oh, JVM is the fan of Yuvraj, it seems. Good morning, Yuvraj. Meanwhile, what Dhoni is doing? Waiting until Yuvraj thread got completed. Good morning, Yuvraj. Like 10 times Yuvraj thread is going to complete. Now Dhoni is going to start. Good morning, Dhoni. Like so, now the threads will be executed one by one or not? Is it regular output or irregular output? Regular output. Observe that difference clearly, right? Good morning, Dhoni. Like let me start once again the cinema. This time also Yuvraj or Dhoni? Hey, Dhoni came. So we can't expect which thread will get the chance first. Is nothing but this is. Somewhere Dhoni and Yuvraj fighted somewhere. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Completed, right?
Sir, it will take 4 threads and this one thread is executed. After this, three threads comes waiting state. Now which thread will be executed first?
We can't expect. If multiple threads are waiting to get the chance, but which thread will get the chance? We can't expect. Now observe. Let me show that particular case also. Here how many threads I am taking? Only 2. Let me take our old example. 4 threads let me take. Okay. Yeah. T1, T2, T3, T4. Here who is the person? Kohli. Next and after that here Raina, like T1, T2, T3, T4. T3 dot start, T4 dot start. Like now observe. Actually we started in which order? First Dhoni, next Yuvraj, next Kohli, next Raina. But in which order the output is going to come? Have you observed? Oh, good. Dhoni came. But don't expect next time compulsory Yuvraj will come. Don't expect. Maybe a difference. Okay, if multiple threads are waiting, in which order the threads are going to execute, we can't expect. It depends on thread scheduler, right? But at a time, one thread is allowed to execute. Up to that I can give the guarantee. Have you observed who came? Raina. Actually last person, right? Raina. Now came in the first down. Okay. Now Raina completed. Next who is going to come? Yuvraj. Okay. So we can't expect. It depends on thread scheduler, right? Maybe Kohli will come or Yuvraj will come, like. Okay, that's all. Are you able to understand? Are you seeing synchronization impact in our program? With a synchronizer, without synchronizer, what is the difference, right? Okay. Take this example clearly. Do you want 4 threads are not required? Just for your notes. That's all. Take clearly from the screen. Take clearly. So take clearly class display public synchronized void wish method. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus.
The calling join method also we can allow only one thread at a time in our system.
So one thing, synchronization concept, join method concept, both are completely different. Are you getting? I want to wait until completing some other thread. Meanwhile, suppose I am the T1. T1 want to wait until completing T2. Meanwhile, T3 and T4 will be executed or not. Getting? Then are you getting? Then there is a sequence in that. But I don't want sequence all these things. At a time, only one person. That's my requirement. Suppose if I call T1 dot join, T2 dot join, first T1, and then T2, and then T3, and then T4, like you may have some sequence. I don't want any person can, but at a time only one person. So usually join, such a type of thing, concept is the different. I want to wait until completing some other thread because I required some other person's output. Then we should go for join. This context is completely different. Completed, right? Take clearly. Completed, right? Yeah. Don't take any other thing, just take the program first. Completed, right? First take the program. I hope completed, right? Okay. After taking the program, just take this diagram. This is the display object. T1 calls wish method by passing Dhoni as the argument, and the same display object T2 calls wish method by passing Yuvraj as the argument. Display object T1 calls wish method by passing Dhoni as the argument. T2 calls wish method by passing Yuvraj as the argument. Dhoni as the argument, Yuvraj as the argument, like. So completed, right? Okay, this part also. Now, so here see. Now legend this one. If we are not declaring which method as a synchronized, if we are not declaring which method as a synchronized, at a time both threads will be executed or not. Hence we will have output or irregular output. Irregular output. If we declare which method as a synchronized, then at a time how many threads are allowed to execute? Only one thread. Only one thread is allowed to execute. So what will happen is nothing but regular output by default we are going to get, okay, at this point. If we declare which method as, if we declare which method, if 1 minute, if we are not declaring, better to use the word first, if we are not declaring which method as a synchronized, if we are not declaring which method as a synchronized, if we are not declaring which method as synchronized, then at a time, 1 minute or not. If we are not declaring which method as a synchronizer, then both the threads will be executed. Both threads will be executed simultaneously. Both threads will be executed simultaneously. Both threads will be executed simultaneously. And hence both threads will be executed simultaneously, and hence we will get, can I spell out? And hence we will get irregular output. And hence we will get irregular output. Okay, just observe this one. Sir, I am not declaring which method as synchronized. Have you observed? My which method is not synchronized, not synchronized. Then here observe this one. Sir, what is the output by default we are going to get? We will get irregular output, right? Just 1 or 2 lines of irregular output. Better to take. Good morning Yuvraj. Good morning Dhoni. Good morning Yuvraj. Like, take 1 or 2 lines of irregular output. Good morning Yuvraj. Good morning Dhoni. Good morning Yuvraj. ... Completed, right? Take clearly, this is irregular output. I hope terminology is clear. Next para. If we declare which method as a synchronizer, then at a time only one thread is allowed to execute. Then at a time only one thread is allowed to execute. Which method? Only one thread is allowed to execute which method? On the given display object. Then at a time only one thread is allowed to execute which method? On the given display object. On the given display object. Hence we will get irregular output. Hence we will get regular output. Okay, just observe this one. Sir, I am taking which method as a synchronized. Are you getting which method as a synchronized? Now let me compile and let me run this code. Are you getting? So good morning Dhoni, like until Dhoni thread completion. So your thread should wait. Okay, take this part. Take the output. We will get regular output. Good morning Dhoni 10 times, followed by good morning Yuvraj, like 10 times. Okay, like we are going to get. Completed, right? That's all. Better to take the output anyway. So this is what with the synchronized, without synchronized, what is the impact? Now I hope you people can able to understand clearly, right? Okay, this is